What's up, y'all? It's your boy Ali Rider 619. As you see, I'm watching Pacquiao fight. No, this ain't the only fighter I watch fight. Well, I go through all types of films from nowadays to back in the 1900, early 1900s. I go through it all. I try to watch as much as I can when I'm off work, um, or when I'm not partying or whatever, when I have free time. But as y'all can see, you know, I'm watching Pacquiao, and I know the first thing y'all thinking, oh, look at this Pactard. You can say what you want. I can care less because I know I'm not a Pactard, and I'm not in denial because I know I'm not a Pactard. Pacquiao's just my favorite fighter. You people just fail to realize that people have opinions. Niggas could like Pacquiao without being a Pactard. As soon as a nigga like Pacquiao, the first thing that y'all say, oh, he's a Pactard. Nigga, how come a nigga can't like a nigga that just comes to fight? A nigga that puts it all on the line and ain't afraid to get hit. A nigga that want to chunk him like a real G, nigga. Like a real street nigga. You know what I mean? That's what made me make Pacquiao my favorite fighter of all time. You could talk about the fighters he fights and be like, oh, why do you fight this guy and this and this and that? Really? Think about it. Why would you not want to have Oscar De La Hoya on your resume? Why would you not want to have Ricky Hatton on your resume? Well, how come you wouldn't want to have Miguel Cotto on your resume? Even Margarito, even though he's not no super extreme fighter, he's not all that good. But beating up a big ass nigga like this, it's like it helps your legacy. To some people it hurts his legacy for picking on Margarito coming back after a year off or whatever. But it wasn't that long ago when Margarito was the most feared man in boxing after he beat Cotto, Centron and Cotto and all that shit. So hey, it is what it is. He has a hell of a career. And his fighting style is the main reason why I like Pacquiao, because he comes to fight. But one of the main things that influenced me to officially make him my favorite fighter is the haters. They say this, they say that. Then I watch his fights and I'm like, what is it that y'all don't like about this nigga? This motherfucker can fight. He's not the most skilled guy. He ain't a Floyd Mayweather defensive wizard and pot shot puncher. You know what I mean? But he I think of course Mayweather's in my opinion, Mayweather's the best pure boxer of all time. Best fighter of all time, I still give it to Sugar Ray Robinson, but I think Pacquiao and Mayweather can take Sugar Ray Robinson and Muhammad Ali's spot, in my opinion. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because if they fight each other, that can complete their legacy, because they've already done legendary shit in their career. You could be the biggest Pacquiao hater and say what you want to say about him, but at the end of the day, he's an all-time great. You could talk all the shit you want about Floyd Mayweather and say this, that, and this, but at the end of the day, he's an all-time great. Why don't y'all step into that fucking ring and fight a drained Hatton, fight it all, not Hatton, Hatton wasn't drained, but a drained De La Hoya, or supposedly drained Cotto, beaten Cotto, You know what I mean? Or step into the ring with all the fighters that Mayweather has faced. You know what I mean? Stop being so hateful. You're entitled to your own opinion. I'm not here to say like Pacquiao if you don't like him. I'm not saying like Mayweather if you don't like him, but have good reasons to not like these guys. You guys are jumping to conclusions like, oh, Mayweather this, he's this, he's that. You know what I mean? Or Pacquiao, he's this, he's on roids. And you guys are so convinced this man's on roids. But you guys have no proof at all. You guys talk like you already found out he was on it. oh, but you look at the signs. Nigga, fuck the signs. Nigga, the signs don't mean shit. What matters is if he ever gets caught. You know what I mean? And so far, he hasn't been caught with shit. And just like, you know, kind of recent news of Mayweather supposedly got caught 3 times during the I believe Ortiz or Cotto fight, one of the two, for random drug testing, but Golden Boy supposedly didn't want to fuck up Mayweather's name, so you know, they didn't put it out to the public. I mean, it might not be true at all, but at the same time, if you're gonna try to say Pacquiao's on some shit without proof, we could say Mayweather might be on some shit without proof. Supposedly they're hiding this shit and they don't want it. He failed 3 times. I mean, you could talk all this shit you want. Oh, that ain't true, nigga. With Pacquiao, it ain't true. Obviously, he haven't got caught. You know what I mean? So you guys have to be fair. Don't just be biased towards one guy and be like, oh, well, this and that. Yeah, Pacquiao's my favorite fighter. If they fight, I hope he wins. But at the same time, Mayweather's my 3rd favorite fighter of all time. You know how many great legends, great fighters out there of all time are? You know what I mean? And I got Mayweather number 3. And I'm a Pacquiao fan. You know what I mean? I know skills. I know great fighters when I see them. You know what I mean? Do I think Mayweather could beat him? Yes, of course. No doubt I feel he could beat Pacquiao. Do I still feel, even though Pacquiao ain't the same fighter he once was, do I still feel he can beat Mayweather? Yes, I do. I really do. But will he? Only God knows that. You know what I mean? On paper, Mayweather should beat the shit out of him. But the fight's never fought on paper. There has been so many upsets we never thought we would see. And this is possibly one of them. Possibly one of them, if the fight ever happens, which I don't think the fight will ever happen. But I don't know. I'm like a funny kind of thinker. Like, you know, I'm like so confident this fight ain't gonna happen. So I feel me saying that it might end up happening. So I'm gonna continue to say, even though I really feel it won't, but me saying that, hopefully it does. And we'll get to see, everybody's questions will be answered. Who is the better fighter? You know, even though they're, you know, Pacquiao's a little out of his prime, but Floyd, you know, kind of is too. I mean, you know, you see him slowing down a little bit, even though he's still a great fighter. But you know, he's still. I see a little flaws in Floyd's game in his last 3 fights. You know what I mean? You don't see many, but I see a couple of things where I'm like, okay, he's not. I think Pacquiao has a chance to take advantage of a couple of things like that. But at the same time, there's a lot of things Mayweather could take advantage of Pacquiao. That's why this fight has to be made. Hopefully 50 Cent can make it happen along with Bob Arum or whatever the case it is. But back to what I was saying, you know, Pacquiao is an all-time great. Regardless on where you place him, you can place him at 35 on your list. He's in the all-time great list. And you have to take in consideration, on most people's lists of all-time fighters, they have Henry Armstrong. They have Henry Armstrong number 2, and he won 3 world titles in 3 different weight classes with the lineal titles. Not no juniors, not no juniors, not no supers, none of that. You know, he won the legitimate featherweight, lightweight, and welterweight titles. Almost won middleweight against Seferino Garcia, but you know, it was a close fight. Some people thought he got robbed. You know, you could say he got robbed, but I think it was closer than what people think. But I think he did deserve that fight. But Pacquiao is the only fighter in boxing history to win 4 lineal titles. 4. You know, I'm not talking about the 8 titles he won. You know, with the juniors and supers and all that. I'm talking about just the 4 regular weight classes. He's the only fighter in boxing history to win 4 lineal championship belts. He beat Armstrong by 1. You know, this guy's an all-time great. You know what I mean? And like I said, it makes me love the man even more. The hatred I see you guys give him. You know what I mean? It's like the hatred just makes me love him even more. Like, this nigga's a beast. I mean, and I know, to believe it or not, I know a lot of niggas, black African Americans, that favor fighter as Pacquiao for the same reasons. You know what I mean? They're not biased because they're black. They're just like, shit, nigga, this nigga's a beast. I mean, people say this and say that. Oh, he's this. I mean, yeah, I admit he is sloppy in his fight. He gets sloppy. But I think a lot of his sloppiness comes with him just wanting to win so bad. He's just throwing shots. He wants to please the fans and win the fight. You know what I mean? I've never ever in my life seen a fight with Pacquiao where I thought the fight was boring on his part, meaning that he made it boring. If the fight is boring, like a Mosley fight that wasn't all that, it's because of Mosley. It's because of the opposite guy. You will never, ever see a fight of Pacquiao's legendary career from back in the day up till now, and as long as he's gonna fight, as that he's gonna be the one who makes the fight boring. I take all that in consideration, and it's just like, he's my favorite fighter. I mean, I love the way he just comes to fight. No, he doesn't have the best skill set, but the man is a fucking monster. And he just is, man. I mean, you can say what you want, but God has truly blesses, man. Just because you lose don't mean God ain't on your side. I mean, you know, the man's a beast. You know what I mean? That's all I gotta say. You guys hit me up. Let me know what you think. I know a lot of haters gonna be on here, and hey, I'm all for that. You know what I mean? It's a very hateful world, and we just gotta learn to live with it. But hit me up. Let me know what's up, and God bless all y'all. Go.